EA's showing at E3 2018 was all about damage control. Some described it as an apology tour to make amends for Star Wars Battlefront II and the infamous loot boxes therein. So, just what is the company's attitude towards loot boxes these days?
EA's Chief Design Officer Patrick Soderlund says that now, fear is the #1 thing for the company. Quote, "When you buy a product from EA, you should get full value for the money you spend." Speaking in a newly published interview with GamesIndustry.biz from this year's E3, Soderlund said that the company has put together a framework of how a large service should function, and EA now applies it across all its products. He said there should be a fair game economy, so you can't pay to win, and you can't pay your way to be better than others. That's important to us, he said. The EA exec was of course talking in the wake of the massive Star Wars Battlefront II backlash, which had actual multiplayer progression, like improving stats and unlocking characters, tied to loot boxes. Loot boxes that EA wanted to charge real money for.
EA has massively changed its tune in the months since the Battlefront 2 controversy. There's no hint of loot boxes in the upcoming Destiny-like shared world shooter Anthem or Battlefield V. Instead, EA is going for direct purchases of cosmetic items, something Soderlund said the market and people generally seem to be completely fine with. One EA game that still very much has pay-to-win style loot boxes though is FIFA Ultimate Team. It's a system that even the Dutch gambling authorities is believed to have singled out as one of 4 games it says breaks Dutch gambling law. GamesIndustry.biz pointed out FIFA Ultimate Team's pay-to-win nature, which Soderlund answered like this, quote, "I think you have to look at Ultimate Team as a mode in a really deep game experience. If you pay $60 for FIFA, you get a game that is ginormous with a single-player campaign in it, with online matches and tournaments and a lot of free updates. You can choose to partake of Ultimate Team or not. The option of choice is super important." The first time I read that, I thought, it's just corporate waffle. That he's just kind of you know, talking rubbish there. But and I was thinking about it, but he's kind of right. People seem to be more upset when it's unavoidable, which was the case with Star Wars Battlefront. If you wanted to play multiplayer, which that's what the entire game was. I mean, there was like a 2-hour campaign or whatever. Who gives a shit about that? It's a multiplayer game, and if you wanted to play the multiplayer, you had to be involved and you had to open the loot boxes. Even if you didn't buy them, you had to look at them and you had to pop them open, and that was the only way to progress. So I think he does have a bit of a point there, that if it's just one part of the bigger picture, then people seem to be a little bit more forgiving of it.
Yeah.
But when you've just put it right in the middle of the game and make it about the game, that's where you cross the line for a lot of people.
He's got a point there. For him, that justifies having pay to win in FIFA because you've got all this other content as well.
Yeah.
But if that is a point, then also it destroys his other point, which he just says, which is pay to win. It's important not to have pay to win in the game. That's really important to us. Not that important, honestly. Yeah. Soderlund once again acknowledged that Battlefront 2 was a misfire and said the company is adjusting accordingly from the learnings of last year. Quote, "I think it's obvious we didn't get Battlefront right. We can either hide in the corner and pretend like we got it right and there's nothing here to see, or we could admit the fact that we didn't get it right and we can course correct and show the world that we care. That's the path we've chosen."
There's no question every single thing that a company like this does is a business decision. Everything they do is about money. And for now, the smart thing to do is to go around apologising to everyone and saying that Battlefront 2 was a mistake and that they've learned and that they've learned lessons. So there's no question that all this is like business driven and what have you. But at least it shows that they are willing to be a bit flexible, even if it is for their own gains, you know, it's for their own ends. But at least it shows that if you say that this is bad, you know, a giant corporation like EA will kind of go, yeah, you're right, this is bad, we'll change what we're doing. And now it means that Anthem and Battlefield V have only got the straight purchase cosmetics. I remember when that was a scandal. I remember when games were coming out and they had, oh, you can buy paint jobs for your car in whatever racing game. This is an outrage. Now we're like, oh great, thank God it's only purchasable cosmetics. But anyway, that's the world we live in now.
Yeah, I mean, looking from a hopeful perspective, I guess. Blake Jorgensen was promoted a couple of months ago to the Chief Technical Officer role at EA. Now he oversees like the implementation of different things in games throughout the whole company. And part of his role, that he says in the interview, is communicating with the creators in the company itself, and that's something that they want to push going forward. It's being more creative and taking this more holistic view.
Being more creative. That's a good, bold idea for a video game company.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because maybe they were locked in their mindset of just trying to make as much money as possible, and then it backfired with the Battlefront thing. And this is the learnings that they're taking out of it. And I like the fact that they are trying. They're saying the right things now, and they're trying to look at it in a different way and trying to go about it in a different way. But for me, the proof is in the pudding. You can say all you want, Patrick, but it remains to be seen whether you have learnt your lesson and whether you're going to just go back to your old evil ways in future. But for now, I think there's a little bit of hope there, judging by how he's talking about it. Let's just forget about the FIFA Ultimate Team thing, though. I mean, because that makes too much money. It makes way too much money. Let's just forget about that. We've learnt a lesson. We're doing it right. But FIFA Ultimate Team, we're just making bank on that. Let's just justify that whatever means necessary. I've got my fingers crossed. I hope they can pull it round. I'm all for people, you know, rehabilitating and doing the right thing in future. I mean, you just gotta wait and see. The proof is in the pudding, like I said.
Are you going to be buying Battlefield 5? Are you going to be buying Anthem? Are you a little bit wary about what happened with Star Wars Battlefront 2, or do you buy what they're saying here? Do you accept that they've changed their policy towards loot boxes and they'll try and do something different? Let us know down in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. There's another video right there which you can watch right now, and a link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time.